What's happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Different angle. I've got poor lighting coming in behind me here, guys, so did change the angle up a little bit slightly here, but here we are. It's another Arvon review. It's going to be the 200-pound Chimp, contrary to the 100-pound Chimp, which I reviewed, I don't know, half a year ago or so, and I think that was before they remarketed and relabeled it. It was the old Arvon water painting. Now they've added this additional can artwork, which I really like. But I've never seen the 200-pound Chimp, so another hazy IPA. We'll call this a double because it's a New England-style double IPA brewed with Citra, Simcoe, and Amarillo hops, clocking in at 8% ABV. So on the upper end of the threshold for alcohol content. For me, I usually like the 5 to 7.5 range. It's definitely on the heavier end of the spectrum, but it's Arvon. Yeah, I've told you guys this. They make great beer. Some of the best New England styles you're going to get in the whole country. So this is going to be about $5 for this can. So $5 or $5.50 is what you're going to get. But 8% beer. Don't know when it was canned on. I think it's relatively fresh. It was just dropped last week. So I want to say that it's probably a month old at worst, but can't verify 100% as it is not listed on the can. So hope you guys are doing well. It is Saturday. Michigan's playing. I thought I would crank out a review real fast for you guys. It's halftime, so we'll see what we're working with here. Again, hazy IPA category, which we kind of overdo on this channel. We do so many of these styles, but I feel like Arvon will go down in history one day as one of the best that did this in Michigan. So if you guys ever want to look for all the reviews on Arvon, I've got most of them. So I am firmly standing with the fact that I've reviewed many of their beers in distribution. So, did pour pretty thick when I went to the glass here, guys, and you're seeing quite a large head sitting on top, which, I poured it very aggressively. But look at that beauty, man. I mean, take a moment just to embrace the way that looks in the camera. Looks fantastic. I mean, it's hard to really get a better DIPA than that. I mean, that's as crystal clear OJ as it gets. And you really don't get this kind of quality in a glass when you're talking about everyone else in the country compared to Arvon. So, yes, there are a lot of winners, but Arvon is my favorite in Michigan. You can go on record and say it. Go ahead. Quote me. Good carbonation streaming to the top, and that head is dissipating slightly. Looks a little bit sudsy now. Bigger bubbling, kind of dissipating. Otherwise, clinging to the glass ever so slightly. Kind of sticky the way it slides down. Looks good. Let's not talk anymore. Let's go to an aroma. Ooh-wee. Dank grapefruit. Like voluptuous, juicy, tart grapefruit along with juicy dank grapefruit. That smells so good. I mean, it smells like somebody has cut open a medley of fruits, but predominantly the grapefruit. It's just juicy, dripping grapefruit in your nose. I mean, it's so obvious that that fruit is just the star of the show so far, going into the nostrils. But boy, you have this nice little touch of earthy dankness. It's kind of soft and delicate, the way it kind of mingles with the fruitiness. It's got a slight tropical vibe, and again, I feel like I hit home this point all the time, but stone fruity. It's kind of peachy. There's a touch of passion fruit. Maybe a little bit of kiwi in here. But man, I mean, you could say there's a case of like lemon and tangerine, but the grapefruit is the biggest thing that just resonates with me here. So maybe a little pine resin on here as well, as I say the word resinous or resonates. But okay, 200-pound Chimp. It smells very good. A little bit sweeter in the front, but still smells like it'll dry out on the back. Let's hope for that, guys. It's a bigger beer. 200-pound Chimp. Cheers, Arvon. Yeah, and actually even drier and hoppier than I would have thought for what I got on the aroma. It smells very juicy on the aroma, but you could get the hop profile coming through a little bit. That nice, just variety of hops, the Amarillo, the Citra. It's just, these hops coincide together really well. Makes for a very creamy mouthfeel. Yet we are getting this dank resinous pine on the back end again, that what I got in the aroma, but even on steroids on the back end. I mean, just dries out your palate on the back. And then that pine is just gritty and dirty. It smacks you around, lets you know this is still an IPA, and bring in the heat at that. So is it soft? Yes, but it is sharp bitterness on the back end for sure. But it doesn't come across hot. That being said, it's very hoppy. It's dank. It's earthy. It's got that grassy, herbaceous. It's not that herbaceous. It's grassy and just kind of resinous pine lingering on the back end. Again, that grapefruit it's like it's soaking your palate, and then you get a little bit of the tartness from the grapefruit as well, and then it goes into just dry as a bone through the middle and back end. Yes, a little bit of cantaloupe, a little bit of peach. Passion fruit, kiwi, really outshined by the citrus in my opinion. But still that nice touch of stone fruit in there as well. It's a good beer. It's actually drier and more bitter than I would have actually taken, even in Arvon's realm. It just comes across very hopped up on that back end. It's very good. It's got that diesely dankness to it, a little bit of that herbaceous pine. More piney than herbaceous, though, absolutely. So it's not like it's very chivy. It's not like oniony, really. It's just more towards the end of diesel dank. But again, the grapefruit, the biggest thing driving home in this beer is that grapefruit. And dry Meyer lemon. It's just hitting home real well. So where do I sit? It's a big beer. I mean, you can feel it. I'm burping up dank cantaloupe just over and over again. So a little bit of high acidity to this as well. Is it the most drinkable Arvon that I've gotten in the mix? Maybe not, but it is an IPA lover's dream if you love those big Michigan hopped up beers. If you like Two Hearted, it's bringing that kind of hoppiness, different kind of hop character, but it's bringing that hoppiness. If you like Huma from Shorts, really on the back end, it mirrors that resinous pininess in a very fair way. Obviously, the sweetness in the front and the maltiness offsetting a lot of that bitterness, but it's still slapping you around. So instead of making this a really long review, because it's already long enough, ranking and rating. Very tasty. Some of the best beer you're going to get in Michigan. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Arvon to date, but again, it's in the 8% category, so a little bit higher than I typically like. I like the 6s, the 7s. But still a very well brewed beer, and it's 200-pound Chimp, man. It's got some steroids in there, so it's not the original. It's the souped up version of the 100-pound Chimp. So that being said, I'm going to go with a 4.1 out of 5. Maybe I wanted some more sweetness, juiciness, maybe actually a dash bit less bitterness. So that's where I stand today. It's been 200-pound Chimp. Thanks for being here, guys. Been another Arvon review. Cheers.